my plan here is to pull up before I hit the water. Right now, go! Oh. Oh. Well, there goes $200. Hello fellow gamers, this is Tracy Manser, and I'm going to be reviewing the RC mod for Minecraft 1.7.2. And basically what this mod does is it adds in 3 new objects into the game, none of which currently have crafting recipes. But that's okay. You can just pull them out of the creative inventory anyways. So, not a big deal. You can find them right here in the RC mod. So, there they all are. The RC Octocopter, the RC Trainer Plane, and the Remote Control. And in case you didn't know, RC stands for Remote Control. So, first we'll go over the Trainer Plane and Remote Control. Now, be ready. This model is super flipping awesome. Look at that. That model looks so cool. I mean, it's not even like, there's no blockiness about this. This just looks like a full-on RC plane that you could go buy from your local hobby shop. It's really, really impressive how well they did with this. But enough of that. So, basically how this works is, and I gotta turn that off, basically how this works is you right click it, and you can hear all those little beeps and see the little redstone dust thing, and then with the remote control, right click, and there's another beep, and you get all this stuff. And it says the RC profile, there's a picture of the RC Trainer Plane, and it says Trainer Plane. You can see the signal. Now, I've flown pretty far out with this plane and the Octocopter, and I haven't had a problem with the signal. So don't quote me on this, but there may not be a range at which point you cannot control the plane anymore. I'm not sure. There may be, and maybe I just haven't found it yet. And with the timer, that basically shows you how long it's been. What are you doing, cow? What are you doing? Get out of here. Okay, well the timer basically shows you how long it's been since you connected to the RC plane. I'm not sure if there's like a time limit. It looks like it goes into the hours, so you really shouldn't have a problem with this if that maybe shows you, I don't even know where I'm going with this, something about battery life, but that doesn't really matter. So, the controls to this thing, crap, I gotta scoot back a little bit. Okay, so the controls to this thing, use W, A, S, and D, and the arrow keys, so that's kinda new. Now, if you click W and hold, sorry about the lag, I'm using, forgot what the world type is called, but it's one of those crazy world types. So, aside from the lag, when you click W, the propeller will spin. And when you click S, the propeller will stop. And I say click, but I mean click and hold. So, yeah, remember that. And that's your throttle control. So, A and D control the rudder, moving that back and forth. A makes your plane turn to the left, and D makes your plane turn to the right. Now, the arrow keys, how that works. Basically, when you click the down arrow key, your plane will go upwards, or it will turn upwards. Then if you click the up arrow key, your plane will turn downwards. And it's pretty much like any other flying video game or whatever, inverted controls for up and down. That's kind of how it works. So when you click the right arrow key, your plane will bank or roll to the right. When you click the left arrow key, your plane will bank or roll to the left. Alright, so that's pretty much all the controls, and that chicken over there might be an issue. But, there's no reason why we can't take off except for that chicken. Thank you, chicken. Alright, so hold W, you can increase the throttle, and if you could hear it, there was a little whir from the engine, and now we're off. So, controlling this thing's pretty easy. I mean, it is a little bit hard to see, because of, how small it is. And, it's pretty brightly colored, so it really isn't too bad, and this lag is certainly going to kill me. So, oh shoot. I don't know where that went, but I think it just died. Okay, so now we're going to do the F5 flying. So if you click F5 once, twice, 3 times, on the 3rd time, you'll get all this stuff. Now, before we take off again, I'm going to explain throttle, weapon, speed, height, and range, and the little thing in the top middle. So bottom left, you have throttle, which right now it's 0%. But basically, if you click and hold W, that's your throttle control. You'll pick it up, and you can go up to 100% throttle, which gives you a good 15, 16 meters per second, I want to say, at level. Weapon, currently not applicable. If they add weapons into the game, I believe you toggle it with F. That's what it said on the forums, but don't quote me. I looked at that a little while ago. Speed, right now I don't have any because I'm just standing still. Height, I'm on top of a mountain. That explains why I'm so high up. And then range, right now it says 3.0 meters. That means my character is 3 meters away, or 3 blocks away from the plane. So the thing at the top middle, that arrow that's currently pointing down is pointing to my character. And then the little compass thing there is your north, south, east, and west. Now if you want to get back to your character, follow the arrow. It's that simple. So let's go ahead and do this. Click and hold W. And here we go. So you can probably hear it. That is the sound from this thing. It's really cool. And I hope this lag doesn't mess us up. So right now I'm flying at about 100% throttle, and we're getting 16 to 18, I guess, meters per second. So that's not too bad. And okay, this lag is seriously going to make me crash. I'll have to fix that. So as you can see, we can fly around, and this lag will stop. I'll try and do a loop. Come on. Let's cut the throttle a little bit. Oh. Didn't do that in time. But this is a good learning experience, as most things are. So what has happened is we have crashed nose first into the ground / the helipad. And all that smoke coming up, it doesn't mean your plane's going to explode. It just means that the motor is broken, and you will not be able to use your plane anymore, unfortunately. So there's an issue with that, but there isn't really much else that we can do for the time being with this plane. Just break it, replace it down, and it's all fine, even though you won't have these in survival, so it doesn't really matter. If you right click, you get out of it, and yeah, I think that's about it for the plane. Except for this, and this goes for the octocopter too. If the plane were to fly into water, as you saw in the intro, it's pretty much dead. It will bring you back to your character's view if you're in F3. That just crashed. But yeah, your plane's gone. It's dead. So that's as far as we're going to get with that. So the second object that we have here is the RC Octocopter, and that's the same thing. I just put 2 in here. So the Octocopter model, just as good as the plane. It looks amazing. I mean, it looks like a real legitimate octocopter. I've been thoroughly impressed with this entire mod. It's so great. So right clicking will make the little beep and have the little redstone puff come out, and it's just like with the plane. Right click with the remote control and it'll say, well, really the only difference is now it has a well, it says the RC profile is the octocopter, and it has the picture of the octocopter. So the controls are a little bit different, and I'll do the F5 thing for this because it's a bit easier to show you up close. So W, press and hold, and you'll get throttle. And before we get any further, I just want to say everything is exactly the same. You have throttle, weapon speed, height, range, and the compass and arrow. So a good hovering, well, perfect hovering it looks like, is 45% throttle. So I can show you everything else from this point. A and D. This will rotate the camera in the opposite direction that you press them. So A, it's on the left side of S, but it turns your camera to the right. And D turns it to the left. So you also use the arrow keys with this. So this is how you kind of roll around and whatnot. The forwards arrow key makes you tilt forwards. Backwards makes you tilt backwards. The arrow key, or the right arrow key, makes you turn or roll to the right. Left makes you roll to the left. So that's about as simple as it gets. And I just want you to remember with the A and D, it does not turn your quadcopter around, it simply moves the camera. You want to know how I know that? Because I can put it at this angle, then press D, and it'll stay at that angle no matter which way I go to. Now, the controls work based on your camera. So say I click the right arrow key to turn it like that. If I move the camera over, like this, and I right click and I right arrow key now, it won't turn it in the same direction. And I should probably get back over to the mod review area. So just like the plane, the weapons are currently not here, but again, don't quote me on this. Change it with F. Although it's not here, so you can't even change it. So that's pretty much all there is for this flying view. So why don't we go back to this view, which I haven't shown yet, because I was showing the controls and stuff. Oh crap. Alright, so just like the plane, we screwed up. It crashed. And from the looks of it, I don't think the quadcopter is going to get up from this one. Yep, it's smoking. So let's just push it off the edge and forget that it ever happened. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, when these things fall, they glide. This octocopter shouldn't glide, but you know what? It just did. Because that's how physics work, I'm sure. So thanks for watching. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more. I'll have a link in the description so you can check out the mod for yourself. Really flipping awesome, and I hope that they add more stuff into it later, because that'd be cool. I don't know, weapons, or maybe add the car back. I don't know. They may have a better model. But the future is the future, and I don't know it, so who knows? Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.